experience a harrowing journey of survival, loss, and vengeance in the unforgiving wilderness. The film opens with Hugh Glass sharing a powerful message with his son, Hawk. Speaking in a Native American language, he tells Hawk that no matter how scared he feels or how much he wishes his suffering would end, he must fight as long as he has breath. These words resonate deeply as haunting images of Glass's past flicker on screen. Moments of warmth with his wife and son, the fiery destruction of their home, and Glass cradling his wife in his arms. Glass and Hawk are part of a fur-trapping expedition led by Captain Andrew Henry. The wilderness is treacherous, and the men live in constant peril. Their fears are realized when their camp is attacked by an Arikara war party. Arrows rain down, chaos erupts, and many of the trappers are killed. Those who survive manage to flee on a boat, narrowly escaping with their furs. The Arikara warriors, however, are relentless, pursuing the group because they believe someone in the hunting party has kidnapped their chief's daughter. Powaka.as tensions rise within the group. Hawk becomes a target of racist hostility from John Fitzgerald. Glass intervenes, defending his son and urging him to stay calm and not retaliate. Meanwhile, Glass scouts ahead of the group to help them navigate the dangerous terrain. During his exploration, he stumbles upon a grizzly bear and her cub. In a brutal attack, the bear mauls him, tearing into his flesh and leaving him gravely wounded. Despite the odds, Glass manages to kill the bear, shooting and stabbing it in a desperate fight for survival. The group finds Glass and attempts to treat his wounds, but his condition slows their progress. Frustration boils over, and Fitzgerald suggests they leave Glass behind or kill him to spare the group further hardship. Captain Henry, unwilling to make such a decision, offers payment to anyone willing to stay with Glass until the end. Hawk and Jim Bridger volunteer, and a reluctant Fitzgerald agrees, lured by the promise of extra money. As Glass lies helpless, he experiences vivid visions of his wife and the day their home was destroyed. Seizing an opportunity, Fitzgerald tries to smother Glass under the guise of mercy. Hawk catches him in the act, leading to a confrontation. In the ensuing struggle, Fitzgerald fatally stabs Hawk. Glass watches in silent agony as Fitzgerald hides Hawk's body and deceives Bridger into leaving, claiming that Glass is dead. Before leaving, Fitzgerald buries Glass alive under a shallow pile of dirt. But Glass refuses to die. Summoning an extraordinary will to survive, he claws his way out of his grave and begins a grueling journey through the wilderness. Along the way, he discovers Hawk's frozen body. Heartbroken, Glass vows to stay by his son's side. But the cold forces him to take Hawk's thick fur pelt for warmth and continue onward. Despite his injuries, Glass feeds on roots and scraps, builds small fires, and keeps moving forward. His journey is perilous. Pursued by the Arikara warriors, Glass escapes by riding down the rapids of a freezing river. Exhausted and starving, he eats a live fish straight from the river. Later, he encounters a Pawnee man scavenging a bison carcass. Cautiously, Glass gestures for food, and the man offers him an organ from the bison. Though disgusted, Glass eats it to survive. The Pawnee, noticing Glass's rotting wounds, tends to him and listens to his tale of betrayal and loss. The two men, both bearing their own tragedies, form a fragile bond and journey together. For the first time in days, Glass finds a moment of peace, catching rainwater with the Pawnee and feeling a glimmer of humanity. This peace is short-lived. One morning, Glass awakens to find the Pawnee hanged by French fur traders. Devastated, Glass infiltrates the French camp, where he witnesses a man raping a woman, Powaka, the Arikara chief's daughter. Glass intervenes, holding the rapist at gunpoint and freeing Pawaka. He steals a horse and escapes into the wilderness, releasing the other horses to create chaos. The next morning, the Irakura find Glass and attack. He fends them off with his rifle, but is forced to flee on horseback. As they pursue him, Glass rides to the edge of a cliff and plunges into the ravine below. The fall kills the horse, and Glass sustains further injuries. Desperate to survive the freezing night, he cuts open the horse's carcass, removes its organs, and climbs inside for warmth. By morning, he emerges, battered but alive, and continues his journey. Back at the outpost, Fitzgerald tells Captain Henry that Glass and Hawk are dead, collecting his payment for the mission. However, Bridger's guilt is evident. When Glass finally arrives at the outpost, barely clinging to life, he reveals Fitzgerald's betrayal and Hawk's murder. Furious, Henry leads a search party to find Fitzgerald, who has fled after stealing the outpost payroll and heading for Texas. The pursuit culminates in a deadly confrontation. Fitzgerald ambushes and kills Captain Henry in a gunfight, but Glass tracks him to a creek. In a brutal fight, the two men clash with knives and bare hands. Fitzgerald nearly overpowers Glass, but Glass gains the upper hand. As the Irakura appear on the horizon, Glass spares Fitzgerald's life, pushing him downstream to face their judgment. Exhausted and broken, Glass gazes into the wilderness, reflecting on his journey, his loss, and the resilience that kept him alive. The Revenant is a masterful exploration of the human spirit's capacity to endure unimaginable suffering and the lengths one will go for justice and survival. It's a story of pain, perseverance, and the unyielding will to live. Watch this cinematic masterpiece to witness Hugh Glass's extraordinary journey. Subscribe for more movie recaps.